Hey besties, welcome back to the Couch Pod. I first just want to start off like I always do, thanking you guys for all the love that y'all showed to episode 2. Literally y'all I couldn't have imagined that episode 2 would even get as many views, grasp as many attentions as it did. Attention, is that even the right word? Grasp as many attentions as it did. I'm just so thankful, and I'm so lucky that y'all were able to find relatableness in me. I'm lucky that a lot of y'all were so sweet. All of the messages that I received, all of the comments that even under the video, I just received so much love, and I definitely felt like whoever was listening felt like they weren't alone. I felt like you guys understood me, made me feel like I wasn't alone, and I feel like that's all that I can really hope for to get out of these episodes is our sense of community, our sense of knowing that we belong, with one another, that it's not just you that feels that way, it's not just me that feels that way, and you're not alone, and there's no reason why you should have to be. Anyways, y'all, let's recap life. I really am sorry I didn't get out an episode for y'all last week. Me and Noah had gone out of town, super last minute. I just kind of wanted to bask and enjoy being out of town and not have to worry about producing content or even work, anything else. I literally, y'all, it was just vibes. No thoughts were in my little pea brain, okay? But yeah, the Billie album, y'all, Billie Eilish's new album has had me in a chokehold, okay? She did not play, it definitely gave summer, it gave pop girly music, but also she still made it Billie. I don't know, I think it's a really good album. It slaps. It's literally been on repeat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I Can't Hold You. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else is done. What else is new, y'all? I don't know, my favorite song right now, Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. Something about summer, that song just gives summer. And the music video too, y'all, the music video eats, okay? Yeah, I don't know, there's so much we can cover, especially that we're gonna cover. What am I trying to say? Words that I'm trying to say in this episode. First things first, y'all. This is my third time filming this episode. The first time I filmed it, my camera literally died on me. Oh, wait. I just turned on this render. I think I muted myself on accident. I'm sorry. Maybe I can figure a way to edit that out. Maybe not. Wow, I totally lost my train of thought. This is so embarrassing. What was I saying, y'all? Oh, yeah. Okay. It didn't want to let me film my episode. I filmed it. My camera literally died mid-episode. And then I filmed it again. I had to film at night, y'all. So if y'all saw my story and I was like, oh, film late tonight, that copy came out trash. Absolutely horrible, ridiculous. If y'all know me, y'all know I like to film in the sunlight, okay? And I feel so bad because Noah literally helped me try to figure out a whole bunch of lighting fixtures. And we were pulling out photo lights that we had and stuff. Nothing was working. I literally rewatched the footage, absolutely hated it. And I was like, okay, I need to come back. I felt like I was rambling too much. There was just so much going on, y'all. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I just need to go take a deep breath. Maybe I need to go to sleep, wake up and take a shower in the morning and just try again because clearly it wasn't working. So that's exactly what I did. I woke up in the morning, I got ready, did my makeup, did what I need to do, ate some breakfast, got a meal on my body, and now we're here refilming the episode. And hopefully this is the last time that I have to film this episode so I can actually upload it for you guys. But with no further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This is Hot Girl Summer in your hometown. So for a lot of my friends, this can really apply to anybody, whether you're home from college and you're just visiting for the summer, or whether you move back to your hometown and you're a college graduate, or whether you're like me and you left college a long time ago. It's only been a year. You left college and now you do summer forever in your hometown. Every day you're in your hometown. There's nothing wrong with that. There's also nothing wrong if you never left for college and you went to college in your hometown. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. It's okay to still be in your hometown. Take it from me. Anyways, let's get right into it. So the first thing I really want to talk about is routine. I feel like being in summer, there's 104 days of summer vacation, and school comes along just to end it. They were spitting with that line, I'm not gonna lie. But just Phineas and Ferb, they did the same thing every single day. I feel like in the summer, you don't have to do the same thing every single day, but it's really important to have a routine. If you're somebody who doesn't really like to sleep in, or if you're like me, where if you think that if you wake up past 10 o'clock, the whole day is wasted. I don't know why my brain is wired that way, but if I'm not up, ready, and moving by 10 a.m., I low-key feel like I wasted my whole day. 9:30 is really pushing it. Even though I know I deserve to sleep in sometimes, it's still pushing it for me. I don't know what it is. I need to rewire my brain. But if you're one of those people, having a routine is really important. It's important to make sure you wake up before a certain time if you want to be up before a certain time, that you're making sure you plan to eat 3 meals a day. It's important to make sure if you want to exercise that you're getting your exercise in for the day, whether it's a planned time every single day, or whether it doesn't matter what time of day it is and you're getting that in. Whether you are reading a book and you're like, I need to read 10 pages a day, or whether it's wake up in the morning, take a shower, do my hygiene, brush my teeth, eat breakfast, journal, read my book, go for a walk, eat lunch, and let's say like you have to go to work or something, like go to work, and like you come home, like you journal again for the day, take a shower, do your skincare, whatever it is that makes a routine for you. If you're a 9 to 5 girly, wake up, gym, get ready for work, skincare, hygiene, all those things. Breakfast, whether it's breakfast on the go, you eat breakfast at work, you have to pick up breakfast, even though it's not cheap too, but sometimes we just gotta make it do what it do. Whatever that is, you come home, you make dinner, you journal, you read, like, what's the word? Like debrief? Is it debrief? No, it's not decrease. What's the word? We're like, it's not release. What's the word? Decompress. There it is. Decompress for the day, do a face mask, something, whatever it is. Just make a routine for yourself. I feel like in summer we get kind of lost because things kind of come to a stop, or like things are in like a waiting period for a lot of us. Like it just makes sense of like summer, it's kind of like that free time where like there's not as much structure. But if you're somebody who needs structure, it's really important to have a routine, especially coming from college to be back in your hometown and you're not used to the things that you would do every day. It's important to establish what you can of a routine so you don't feel like lost, like you're just wasting every single day being stuck, quote unquote, stuck in your hometown. Another thing that I really want to talk about, like I just spoke about in the routine, being active. I feel like in the summer, it is so important to be active. And I feel like for me, I kind of felt that a lot last summer. I wasn't being as active as I'd wanted to. Like we would go swimming and stuff, but I wasn't as active as I was naturally. Like I was going cycling, or I would get up and I take my dog for a walk, which sorry to my dog, I'm not the best about right now just because it's been so hot. Just like I said, cycling, going for a walk, even like going down to the gym, or even if you do a home workout. If you're a home workout girly, there's nothing wrong with popping on a YouTube video and doing some yoga, doing at-home Pilates, or doing like an at-home HIIT workout. Whatever it is that works for you. I feel like being active in the summer is so important because we get kind of complacent with like taking care of ourselves in the summer because we spend so much time in the winter and like the fall and the spring trying to get ready for your summer body. But like also, girl, you can still get a summer body in the summer. There's nothing wrong with that. Moving right along. Ooh, I'm low-key racing through these. Let me slow down. Okay. Another thing I really want to talk about, hobbies. I feel like it's so important to have a hobby. I feel like I can call my podcast my hobby, even though like I love doing this. If I could literally podcast full time, I would podcast full time. Trust and believe I would podcast full time. But for now, like it's like my hobby. This is something that I do. It's something that I do that I enjoy. It doesn't feel hard. It doesn't feel difficult. I don't feel like I'm forcing myself to be here with you guys. I hope you don't feel like you're forcing yourself to be here with me. Just getting into something that just is like your escape, like your release from everything. Also, apologies for real because my fan is running. I'm gonna do my best to mute it out. But if y'all hear it, just please ignore it. It's hot. I live in Texas, bear with me, okay? Anyways, like I said, finding a hobby, whether it's reading a book, whether you become a part of a running club. Running has been like a really big trend lately. Like people are getting into running, like training for half marathons, 5Ks, 10Ks, full-blown marathons. What is it? If you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. If you want to be a running girly, a running man, running man's not the right word. If that's what you want to be, go do it, okay? Find a hobby that doesn't feel hard to you, something that you enjoy, and if it's something that actually like stimulates your brain or stimulates you mentally or physically, that's just a plus. You're bettering yourself in more ways than you know. My boyfriend, he's an artist, so like get into painting. I don't know if y'all can see, if you're watching on YouTube, like right here above me, this is literally his painting. Like I just said, painting, whether like you just want to go outside and go to a park and go paint, even if you're not an artist, if you're like, girl, I can't draw to save my life, I can't paint, who cares? Just go out there and express yourself. I think a hobby is just the best form of self-expression where there's no pressure to do anything correctly. There's no pressure to do it right. It's just enjoy it. That's really all that it is to it. A hobby should just be something that you enjoy. Even if it's just listening to music, if it's discovering new albums, if it's putting together playlists for people, or even for yourself. Just find a hobby that you enjoy. But we lose ourselves in our hobbies of like, I'm having so much fun in doing this and I enjoy it. The time is going by. I didn't even realize that like the day's almost over because you're just so passionate about what you do. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like that's a beautiful thing. I could totally like get more into that about like the importance of hobbies and everything else. But I feel like especially in the summer, being in your hometown, if you feel lost, you feel like you don't have much to do, or you suddenly have a whole lot of free time, I feel like picking up a hobby, even if you learn how to play an instrument, y'all, sorry, my brain is just moving. Even if you learn how to play an instrument, the piano, the guitar, the drums, the flute, the oboe, you can learn how to play the recorder again like you did in 5th grade. I feel like there's just so many options, you know what I mean? Like everybody has like their little niche thing that they were into when they were like really young. Like maybe you could get back into that. Like me, I was really into dancing. When I was in college, I used to actually go to the gym, and when they weren't teaching like Zumba classes or like group fitness classes, I would go in there and I would just play music and I would literally just dance. Like I was like freaking JoJo Siwa, like Karma's up, you know what I mean? Like I was really like, I was in there like swimwear for real. And I just really enjoyed it. It felt like a release. It wasn't something that I had to share with people if I didn't want to. Because I didn't want to be a part of like a dance class, like a dance studio. I just really wanted to be in there and just kind of like dance and like be free for myself and just, like I said, no thoughts in my brain, just vibes, and just do something that I really enjoy. Anyways, another thing I want to talk about is, yes, it's important to have a routine. It's important to have hobbies and do all these other things, exercise for yourself. But I feel like the number one thing that is just really in for the summer that everybody should really focus on, and I feel like oh my God, I just burped. I feel like our generation has been so good about this, in a sense, is our self-care. I feel like self-care is the one way. If you're the person who's like, I need a summer glow up, I want to reinvent myself this summer, like I don't want to be the same girl I was in the spring, like I want to come back in the fall like a new person, whatever. Self-care is literally the key to that. Whether like you're somebody who's like, I want to fix my complexion for my lighter friends, my white friends, whether that's like you get really into like self-tanning yourself, my friends who get their hair done and their eyelashes done and their nails done, you laminate your eyebrows, all those things, and you learn how to be a DIY girly. Like you spend the whole summer learning how to do your nails, or you just buy press-ons. You spend the summer learning how to give yourself the perfect blowout, or you learn how to laminate your own brows, learn how to do your own lashes. There are so many DIY girlies out there in the world, y'all. It's not hard to be one. I used to be one. I just gave up because I just enjoy going to go get my nails done. But that's a different story for a different time too. I kind of talked about that in episode 1. If you know, you know. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to episode 1. Anyways, reeling it back in. Skincare, I feel like your self-care also goes a lot into your skincare. I feel like getting to know your skin, like am I oily, am I normal, am I dry, all those things, and just kind of curating. I'm not saying you have to have a whole skincare line, because I don't even have that. I literally have 3 products to my name that I literally use all the time. Just finding what works for you, because I feel like taking care of your skin also goes into like the look good, feel good mantra of like, you get up every day and you wash your face and you do your skincare and you walk out the door and your skin is glowing, capital GLO, glowing. You look good, you feel good. If you know you look good, you got on a cute little outfit, you did your skincare, put your hair back in a bun, a ponytail, did a blowout, whatever it is, and you walk out the door looking like that girl, they can't tell you nothing, okay? Also, feeding into the look good, feel good mantra, I feel like for me, I really take personally what I put into my body also, and part of that feel good, look good mantra. If I'm feeling like I'm putting, I hate using the term healthy because that's such like a wishy-washy term. If I feel good about the things I'm putting into my body, let's do that. If I feel good about the things that I'm putting into my body, like me, for example, I'm a big fruit girl. I have always been a fruit girl. I just love fruit. I'm not like the pick-me girl that's like, I prefer this over chips and candy, because don't get me wrong, I will bust down a bag of hot Cheetos. It ain't nothing to it, okay? But also like apples and caramel, I love caramel. How do y'all say it? Let me know. Regardless, apples and caramel, I love that. A banana and like a cutie and mandarin orange for breakfast, so good, so yummy, so quick, light, and easy. Even for a snack, strawberries and whipped cream, strawberries and honey, bananas and honey. I love fruit. Like I feel like I constantly have fruit in my rotation of like what I'm always eating, and I always feel really good when I put fruit in my body. Me, if anybody knows me for real, I'm a salad girl. I'm a salad addict. I am literally addicted to lettuce, which is jokes because I don't eat lettuce on my burgers, but I will bust down a salad. A Caesar salad, it could be a chicken Caesar, a shrimp Caesar, it could be just a plain Caesar with croutons and cheese, y'all. I'm gonna bust it down every single time, and I always feel good about it because I feel good that I put a salad into my body. Now don't get it twisted, it's a different story when like you load it up with like the bacon, the egg, the tomato, the onion, the steak, the double tossed buttered shrimp, like that's a whole different story. But if that's what makes you feel good, to each its own. I'm just talking about what I do for me, okay? Where it's different strokes for different folks. Whatever relates to you. Take it with a grain of salt if it don't, okay? Moving right along, scheduling time for yourself and for others. I know like we always see like that Instagram reel where it's like, this is what you need to do this month, like schedule one friend date, schedule one girls night, like schedule one date night, schedule one date night with yourself, pick one day out the month to call your mom, pick one day out the month to call your grandma. That's real. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that is so real. The second that I really started doing that, or like I didn't start to do it where like I had to plan it out specifically, but I made sure that I was seeing my friends at least once a month. at least once. And like this is one-on-one time with my friends, but at least if I don't see them all in a group setting, I hope to at least see a couple of my friends one-on-one. And I feel like scheduling that out, even if you schedule out a week in advance, even if y'all are busy 9 to 5 corporate girlies, and y'all live busy lives, y'all have, you know, boyfriends and kids and husbands and dogs and cats and fishes, whatever it is, if you have to schedule it out a month in advance, you're like, hey girl, I want to go get drinks on this day, let me know if you're available. If not, I can do the 15th, the 17th, the 23rd, or the 26th, you know? I feel like it's really important to make sure you're spending time with those people, even especially with your family. If you're lucky enough to be in your hometown for the summer and you're with your parents or you're staying with your parents, I feel like it's so important to spend intentional time with them outside of being like just in their home. Like, yes, it's one thing to like eat dinner together at the table, but like, hey mom and dad, like, do y'all want to go to Topgolf? Or like, hey mom and dad, like, do y'all want to go to brunch? Or like, do y'all want to go shopping together? Do y'all want to go to the store? Something other than just like what you'd been doing your entire life with your parents, you know what I mean? Nothing that feels like another 9 to 5 days, something that's actually an activity that's a good memory that you guys hold together, especially it being in the summer. It can be really hard if you're in college, leaving your friends and having to say goodbye to your parents and being like, damn, I low-key wasted the summer, like I didn't really spend any time with my parents, or like I wish we would have been able to go do this and this. Like I feel like I felt that a lot when I left for college, because I have so many memories of my parents, but as I got older, I feel like, and this is a very natural thing, you get so enticed with your friends and you get so caught up in the wonderful friendships you have in adulthood, you almost like forget about your parents, and it kind of makes me sad, because I'm like, I don't want my parents to think I forgot about them, because I didn't. I love my parents to death. Like they're still my mom and my dad, but I also like, damn, like I wish I would have went to go do that with my parents, you know what I mean? And I feel like we also forget the fact that like it's okay to not always do stuff with your friends. It's okay that sometimes your mom is your only friend that day, or sometimes your mom's the only person you hung out with that week. I don't see anything wrong with it. Me and my mom are very close. Me and my grandparents, I call them my parents. Me and my parents are really close too. Like I spend so much time with them. I spend so much time with my mom. It's just like, it's a comfort thing, and I feel like it's a really important thing to cherish, especially as we get older in our adulthood, because we never stop needing our parents. And I feel like spending time with your parents should never feel like a chore. And if it feels that way, I feel like that opens room to like reconcile with your parents. But again, that's a whole nother thing I can get into on a whole different episode. Again, just like I said, that whole calendar thing of like making sure you're at least spending time once a month with somebody. Y'all may not feel like seeing somebody once a month isn't enough, but if you're like, if you saw them in January, February, March, April, May, June, you see somebody at least 12 times a year. A month is enough time for things to change just a little bit in your life, to just have healthy updates within one another. If it's not somebody you see all the time, or it's not somebody you constantly talk to, or it's not somebody that you're always in contact with, you know what I mean? Paired into that, like I just said, when you schedule time for others, you also need to schedule time for yourself. Just like I said with your hobbies, just like in your routine, if you have to schedule time for yourself daily, if you schedule it weekly, if you schedule it bi-weekly, if you schedule it monthly, it should not go any further than monthly in terms of taking care of yourself, ever. After the month, it's pushing it for real. Like it's not even, look at me right now. If you're not on YouTube, listen to me. It's not a choice to go further than a month without making time for yourself. Even if it's getting your hair done, getting your nails done, getting your eyelashes done, having a DIY day, or if it's just you going to sit outside on your patio, on your porch, your balcony, whatever, and you just get a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, water, if that's your vibe, okay? And you just actually just sit there with yourself and just kind of like, you just let the light in, okay? Just let the light, what Lana say? Ooh, let the light in. Okay, just take care of yourself. Schedule time to be with yourself, to just be one by yourself, with yourself, and just kind of check in with yourself, like, hey self, how are we doing? Are we doing okay? What did we feel about this? Is there something like, you know, that kind of needs to change? Or something we want to start doing more? Anything like that. I feel like it's so important to have that quiet time with yourself, because I'm somebody whose brain is always going. Like even now, I have a million things going on in my brain right now. And I'm so like locked in with this episode, but I still also know like I have a bajillion other things to do as soon as I get off this camera. So I feel like it's important to actually just give your mind quiet time and to allow yourself to just like breathe and just kind of look around you, and also just kind of take in the beauty of what's around you. I feel like that's so important in terms of like just, I love sitting on my balcony. I love going out on my balcony and just looking and just being like, wow, like we're in the sun, we're in fresh air, like I'm standing in my home right now. I'm so thankful and I'm so blessed. Even if you feel like you're nothing to be thankful for, you always remember to like there's always something to be thankful for. There's always a positive in something. And there's just always something to have gratitude for. Like, life is beautiful if you just let it be beautiful. And I think sometimes we overthink it a little bit, and it just has to be that simple. It really, really, truly is that simple. Again, another thing, just make the most of your summer, y'all. Like, I feel like really, truly, when it comes to having a good summer, it's just all about taking care of yourself. It's not about, it's not about doing like what somebody else wants you to do. It's not about doing all the things that your friends want you to do. It's just about doing what makes you happy. If you don't want to do it, if you don't want to go, if you don't feel like going out for drinks, you don't have to go. You don't have to spend your whole summer drinking, drowning in alcohol, drowning in bottles. Having the best summer of your life is making sure that you're having a good time. You're still taking care of business. Your bills are paid, your responsibilities are handled, all of those things. The whole point of summer is to be able to take a break and to set yourself up for success, so that when the tide really gets rolling again in the fall, when it's really time to kick things back into high gear, you're able to sit down and be like, you know what? I feel good, I feel rested, I feel ready, my energy is up, my spirits are up, I'm well taken care of. Because we all know how that fall depression gets. That winter depression, she comes with a vengeance every year for the girls, okay? And I feel like it's so important to be ready for that emotional warfare, to be ready for that spiritual warfare, even the physical warfare, y'all. I feel like it's so important to be ready for that. And summer is just about taking your time. It don't have to be hard. It's summertime, y'all. That's the whole point. Summer is the most simple time of the year. It doesn't have to be hard. It should never be hard. It should never feel hard. And I feel like we kind of lose sight of that in the aesthetics of what we see of like, this is your sign to go do this summer, and this is your sign to go do this summer, and da-da-da-da. And there's nothing wrong with the summer bucket list. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make the most of your summer, but I feel like it's also needs to be an understood thing with you and yourself of like, it doesn't have to be hard. It shouldn't feel hard to have a good time. It shouldn't feel hard to enjoy where you're at. It shouldn't feel hard to make the most of your time. And I feel like the second it starts feeling hard is like when you kind of need to take that step back and like reevaluate of like, okay, what am I really doing? What is it that like I really want to do? And what am I doing now that's not helping me do that? Anyways, another thing with that, I feel like also the last thing with being in your hometown for the summer is being a part of your community. Being from Dallas, there is always something going on. When I say always, I literally mean always. We have these things called melting pot, which are like a whole bunch of vendors, food vendors, people that make bracelets, clothes, that resell, like the vintage t-shirts, vintage hats, candle makers, like anything that you can think of that's a small business, you name it, and they're probably there. Content creators in Dallas are always there. And I feel like if you follow like your local city pages, not even like big cities like Dallas or like LA, Miami, New York City, anything like that, even if you're like living like a suburb area, like for Dallas, we're like the DFW area, Dallas-Fort Worth area. All the surrounding little cities even have their own stuff going on. I think every city, pretty much for the most part, has their own farmer's market. Like my hometown has its own farmer's market, and it's open pretty much on the weekends. Like you can go buy fresh produce. Again, they have small vendors there. We have so many like local places that hold vendors. We have restaurants that hold vendors. We have a chicken and pickle. If you don't know what a chicken and pickle is, your area needs one. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a good time. They have vendors there on the weekends that like sell stuff. And I feel like the more you get involved with like seeing the stuff that your community actually does, and that a lot of it is free. You can go have fun and not spend any money. But you didn't hear that from me. Okay. I feel like the second that you kind of like get into that and you feel like, okay, like I don't have to be at the aesthetic restaurant to like go have a good time. I don't have to go get like bottomless mimosas all the way in the city to have a good time. I don't have to get dressed up and like put on my Sunday best, to like go be at day party, like popping bottles with my friends in a section in the middle of the day at 3:00. I can just get up and go to the farmer's market. I can get up and go for a walk and go to the farmer's market and come back home and go about my day. It doesn't always, have to be like this big aesthetic experience. It doesn't always have to be like you're out in the city doing something. It's really easy to just kind of get out in the area that you're in, 10 to 15 minutes, if even that, from where you live, and just be a part of your community. But yeah, I don't know. I find it really comforting as I get older to be a part of my community and find the things that are going on in my city. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's really fun. I think also, like, when I talked about getting to hang out with your parents and stuff, it's a really cool thing to be like, hey, mom and dad, you want to go to the farmer's market? Or like, hey, like, they're holding this event. It's like 10 minutes away from the house. Do you guys want to go? Stuff like that. I don't know. But anyways, like I said, y'all, summer shouldn't feel hard. Don't feel pressure to have a good summer. If you think you're having a good time, just because Instagram doesn't like what you're posting or your summer doesn't look aesthetically pleasing, doesn't mean you're not having a good summer, doesn't mean you're not having a good time, and it doesn't mean that you're not doing what's right for you. Not everything has to be aesthetic. It's not always going to be pretty. But at the end of the day, as long as you're happy, who gives a fuck? Okay? Pardon my language, mom. Sorry. Anyways, like I was just saying, I'm really happy I got to get through this episode, y'all. I'm literally like... I could take a deep breath that I got through this episode. I feel like I covered all my points. I didn't go too much into detail about a lot of stuff because, again, I literally have another summer episode. Okay. I have another summer episode coming out for you guys literally next week, right after this. So, again, I'm just so thankful for you guys, and I hope y'all are having a good summer. I hope y'all are staying cool, y'all. No joke. I know y'all be blasting that AC for real, but it's necessary. It be getting hot. It gets real thick out here. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated, y'all. Please, please, please stay hydrated. Anyways, I can't wait to see y'all in the next episode. Please look out for summer ins and outs. I'm actually really excited to do that next episode. I was excited for this one, but I'm even more excited for the other one. But again, y'all voted this one first on the poll, so I'm so glad to get this one out for y'all. The one that was second on the poll is summer ins and outs, so that one will be coming directly after this episode. I'm so happy to spend this time with you guys. Thank y'all so much again for showing up for me. Again, I cannot thank you all enough for all the love you guys showed to episode 2. I'm so thankful. I'm so lucky to share this with you guys. Tell YouTube to cut me my check. Okay? Anyways, if you don't follow me. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, please subscribe, like the video, comment, let me know what you think. All of my socials, I will try to link them all in the description. Is it description? That sounds weird. Description. If you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever else you get your podcast, thank y'all so much for listening. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for all your love. I'm so happy to have all of you here. I will see you guys in the next one. I love you so much. Goodbye.